Important that we're careful what we say. The words that come out of our mouth determine our destiny. They create worlds, they create our future. And we have to make sure we're not aligning ourselves with negative conversations. So I am outside, excuse the noise, but I want to get out in nature, but I wanted to share this with you. I had a lady tell me the other day, we were watching something on the news, and this gentleman had done something pretty bad. But anyway, he wrecked the car. And she said, well, I don't understand, you know, how he can get that expensive car, race out of the highway and do whatever it is, cause these accidents, do all this. And it's so hard for us to just get a car, We can't halfway get one. We certainly can't pay for it. And this lady had just bought a new car. I don't know if she had a hard time getting it or not, but I tell you what I do know. I do know that I looked at her. I didn't say anything. And she kept talking. She said, is that right? Is that right? And finally, I had to just tell her, I said, no, ma'am, that's not quite right. I said, I would be absolutely lying if I told you I had a hard time getting my vehicle, which I did not. My last couple of vehicles, I did not have a hard time getting. I just won. The one before the one I have now, I called the car lot and said, hey, I need a car. Could you get me one? And they had me a car ready. I went down to the car lot and picked it up. The car I have now, I called, but I called the wrong place. Anyway, I went to the car lot. I wasn't in there long at all. They had me a vehicle ready. I picked it out. I had lower interest rate than I had on the first car I was just talking about and everything else. And I have not had a hard time paying my car note. I haven't had a hard time paying a car note, and I don't remember when. So, because usually the car before the car that I just mentioned, I paid more on my note every month. And so when I got my final car note, it was $4. Because I always paid about $50 extra. Said all that to say this. I could not come into agreement with her, but she was talking about having a hard time making car payments, about being poor, and about all of these things, because that's not my testimony, and it's not going to be my testimony. I'm going to tell you why. We have what we say. The word tells us that we call those things that be not as though they were. We're speaking them into existence. So it is absolutely true that I'm not in financial difficulty, and I'm not going to be in financial difficulty. Matter of fact, I'm going to be one of the richest people that my family knows, okay? And I said all that not to be conceited, but I said all that to say this. We should not come into alignment with negative conversations. If you are believing God for something, believe God for it, speak positive, have faith that you're going to get just what you're asking for, and do not agree with anything that goes against what you are believing for. As I said, we kill our dreams. We kill our destiny. We do all that by the words that come out of our mouth. We eat the fruit of these lips. So our lips should be speaking praise. It should be speaking positive. We should be giving God glory. We should not be talking about, oh, I had to rob Peter to pay Paul. You had to rob Peter to pay Paul. Did you hear what you're saying? Did you, or what are your words aligning with? Are they aligning with poverty? God didn't tell us to be poor. We told ourselves to be poor. Oh, you know those rich people. Okay, well, it said to be one of those rich people, at least one of those well-off people. So I can't allow my lips to kill everything that I have. I can't say, oh, I have the worst job ever, da-da-da-da-da. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to speak positive. I'm going to be positive. I'm having faith. I'm believing that things going to work out just like I need them to. Because, again, our words, if we're going to leave an inheritance for our children, we have to make sure that we are in the correct financial position to do that. I don't want my children to have a legacy of poverty. I don't want my children to have a legacy of lack. I want them to have a legacy of prosperity. I want them to have more than enough. And so I speak more than enough. I speak prosperity. And that's what you need to do. And I teach my sons. I have boys. So I teach my sons this. I said, be careful what you say. I said, don't come into agreement with negative words and negative thoughts. And so I'll leave you with that today. Please remember, we have to speak positive. We have to speak life. We believe for what we're going to receive. And I'll see you guys in the next video.